remind you of the details. A lot of detail we don't know. Top BBC star taken off air after paying teenager for sexual pictures. This is a male BBC star, apparently known to millions, but we don't know whether the teenager is male or female. The well-known presenter is accused of giving the teen more than £35,000 since this teenager was 17 in return for sordid images. And the alleged recipient's mother said her child had used the cash to fund a crack cocaine habit. Absolutely horrendous. Splash in the Sun. And we turn now to our paper review. Amy Fisher is a former Director of Communications for the Conservative Party, former Special Advisor to the Home Secretary Amber Rudd. Great to have you in the studio. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Big surprise, shock story really in the Sun, isn't it?
Look, it's very sad on any number of levels. Obviously, very much so for the young person involved who's been clearly affected in such an awful way. And I think, more widely than that, there is this kind of impact on the national psyche in the sense that, I don't mean to sound too dramatic, but this is coming so quickly after the Philip, sort of Schofield scandal and all of that, and these reports here are saying this is another sort of very well-known, household face, and we do trust these people when they're on television. I certainly remember personally Philip Schofield. I'm really going to age myself here, but I remember when he was a very popular children's
Gordon
TV, but Gordon the Gopher and the Broom Cupboard, that's where I remember him from. And obviously he had a decades-long career and was, the really trusted face of, morning television. So, as I say, firstly, really awful for the youngster involved and the impact on their sort of life and family. But, more generally, these things do shock us in our own households just because we're so used to these phases, being there with us at various
Well, exactly,
times.
and you've got to be able to trust people who are on TV and in the media and so on.
Any form of public life. I mean, let's be honest, I spent years working, in politics, and sadly we've all become a bit inured to, people in the Palace of Westminster sort of just certainly, even leaving aside whether sort of criminal things happen, leaving aside in a way that is just not appropriate to public office. And it does say whenever it happens in any kind of public walk of life, it just sort of really, really affects you and your sort of faith in